Hello, this is Jim Amerman, Managing Director of Wealth Planning at Fortress Wealth Management, and today's topic is Roth Conversions. So you may have heard about Roth tax strategies. You may even have a Roth IRA or Roth 401k, but you might be curious about how a Roth conversion could add value for you. So that's the purpose of this lesson, is to add some clarity on that topic for you. There are many Roth-related strategies out there that can apply to everyone, and I will address those in the future. But tax rates may be going up at the end of this year. So this sample Roth conversion scenario addresses a solution to that specific challenge. But before I explain this chart to you, let's take a look at a hypothetical situation real quick. Let's say that your mortgage balance and rates were going up rather than down. And as your total real estate value increases, so does the mortgage. Now that happens with a reverse mortgage, but if that was happening with your mortgage and it's not a reverse, you probably look seriously at paying it down or paying it off. Unfortunately, this is what is happening essentially with retirement accounts for a large portion of the population. So the blue line is the total of all your pre-tax retirement accounts. So your IRA, 401k, SEP IRA, simple 403b, pension, etc. Everything below the green line is the tax that is owed on these accounts, and you can see it grows alongside the growth in your retirement accounts. Over here, we've got a bump represented by this up arrow. That's a tax hike, and there's a couple different tax hikes on the horizon. We have $28 trillion in debt, and that means that taxes are likely going to go up in the future, probably sooner rather than later, is a safe bet. So what Roth does is allow you to buy the tax on sale and pay that liability off and remove that growing tax debt in your future. So here's what that looks like graphically. We've got a gold line going down. That is the Roth conversion. And then now the tax owed is the reduced amount that's underneath this gold line. This middle section is the tax avoided by doing that Roth conversion. And now with this Roth account, you've got tax-free growth on that account for the rest of your life, and then for another 10 years after you pass away for your kids or heirs. So this might be a situation where somebody's in a high tax bracket and will likely continue to be in a high tax bracket. But Roth conversions can actually add a lot of value for people who are in low brackets also, due to the way that Social Security is taxed, capital gains are taxed, Medicare, etc. Those factors can all make Roth conversions appealing for people in almost any bracket. You just need to do a careful analysis, making sure you calculate future estimated taxes going forward for the rest of your life. And for that, you need the right software and the right person operating that software. So let's take a look at a scenario for Ben. Benjamin is going to have 40 years of growth in his accounts that we're going to look at. He's at the top tax bracket, 37% federally, and he's a resident of California. So total tax is 50.3 on ordinary income, and capital gains tax is at 37.1%. We're assuming in the future, he's still in the top bracket, 52.9% is going to be the new higher rate with the rate bump we're looking at the end of this year. This is probably conservative. It might be even higher in the future. And we're likely going to see capital gains tax rates going up also. Let's say he's got 300,000 in an IRA, 401k, etc., one of those retirement accounts. That might not be the total of the account, but we're just going to look at that section of the account for now. And let's say he's got 150,900 of cash on the side. He's going to invest that. Applying growth of 8% per year, he ends up with a nice hefty 6.5 million. That 300,000 grew over 40 years to 6.5, and the cash grew to 3.3 million. But now it's time to pay taxes. These might not occur all in 1 year. This might be over many years. Once you turn 72, you have to start paying taxes on your retirement accounts through what's called required minimum distributions. Then you're going to have capital gains tax also at the 42.1%. And after those taxes are subtracted out, you end up with a total of about 5 million and change. Not bad, but if he would have looked at a Roth conversion and compared the pros and cons side by side, as we are doing here, he would have found out that that would have provided him with an additional 1.49 million. That is because this 300,000 that is converted and essentially just relabeled as a Roth, you're not changing the underlying investments, you're just applying this label and paying the tax on that 300,000 now at rates that are lower than what you're going to be paying in the future. So he's used up the cash to pay that tax here in 2021, but the 300,000, it also grows to 6.5 using the same investments. No taxes due, and he ends up with 1.48 million more. That's a 30% increase over the 5 million he had before. The present value of that increase is over 600,000. So this turned out to be an extremely valuable strategy for him. But you got to keep in mind, these Roth conversions are permanent. You cannot reverse them. And you want to be precise about the amount you convert each year. You got to find the optimal amount to convert. Now, most tax preparers, unfortunately, do not have time to cover this, and they might not have the right financial planning software to estimate future tax calcs for each year of your life going forward. And most financial advisors do not have CPAs on staff that focus on this topic. So I've been focusing on this specific need for my clients for the past 10 years. And I'm happy to do a free assessment to see if this or other Roth strategies could significantly benefit your situation. Just send me an email to jim@fortress-wealth.com. And I hope you found this lesson helpful.